So here we are at Thruxton for DTR's track tours. So we start finish straight on this lovely summer's evening. Lovely summer's evening in July. We just had our first race, but I thought we'd take the time to just have a look around the track and see where we go. So start finish, if you look behind us, just in front of us. It's only a short run up to turn 1, and in our cars it's very easy flat unless it's wet. A lot of action normally happens here because it bunches up quite a bit, because there is only really one line through here, and it can get quite tight on race day and race starts.
So if you're looking down here, then where are we aiming towards?
So depending where, if you want a normal lap, you want to be over here. You know, your racing line is out, you know, as far out, use as much range as you can. All the way on the outside, then get it nice and tight up to the apex, as we'll see shortly. This is exactly where we want to be. However, you don't want to be right on this turn. It's a bit vicious, can upset the car, but you can use it if you're in a little bit of a battle with someone, and help you get around the corner and it's a little bit tighter. So here we are down at the complex. If you look behind you, obviously it's very curved and there's a lot of elevation on the way up here, more than you realise in the car. Braking into here is very tricky because you're fully loaded coming through the left. You've got to get the car set up and stable coming into the first part of the complex just up here. This is probably the most important part of the lap because it sets up probably 2/3 of the rest of the lap. You want to stay quite tight coming through here, but not so tight that you hit the curve too aggressively because it unsettles the car too much. All this section is about setting yourself up for the next part and ultimately the uphill run all the way up through the rest of the circuit. So another feature of Thruxton, different tarmac surfaces littered about the circuit. We've got new tarmac on the actual apexes of most of the corners, and that's the really abrasive stuff. And the curbs here are also particularly vicious. There's a lot of places you can see damage to your tyre, so you've got to be really careful where you use the curb and how you use it. So coming into the second part, you want to take quite a lot of road in to maximise your sort of mid-corner speed through here. The curb is very vicious, but equally if you capture it right, it's quite soft. So it can help you just pitch the car, get a little bit more revs, helps you pull out, get a bit more pace going through the centre of the section. And once again, same as the last part, don't want to be taken too much through here, purely because you want to set yourself up for the exit of the complex just up ahead. So you want to sort of aim to be on this side of the white line, well, what's left of the white line, as you can see over here. And get yourself right over and ready for the final cut. So after what feels like a long walk, we've reached the final part of the complex, probably, and the most important part of the complex as well. Camera probably doesn't do it justice, but it drops off a hell of a lot here, and it's very, very easy to wash by, and you've got a surface change as well. You 100% want to avoid this curb because of the way it will upset you, you'll just end up going straight off. So this is probably the most important important corner on the circuit, as it is such a long run. All high-speed corners after this, all the way to the complex at the end of the lap. So you want to get a nice clean run through here, preferably flat if you can get it, depending on your tyre condition and also the weather conditions as well. And get a nice run all the way up to Noble up there. Time has come to talk about track limits. the infamous topic at the moment in motorsport. Rules for Thruxton, we were told this morning, is green is theirs, black tarmac is ours. So i.e. you don't want to be here. So we're up at Noble, my personal favourite part of the circuit and probably one of the most challenging sections I'd say in the UK. So this corner's flat all the way through. It's a double apex corner. You want to use as much road on the way in, so you are on this despite the green is theirs rule. So sort of maximise your straight line part of the corner. And then you want to get close to the curb, but you're so on the limit of what suspension wise and tyre wise you've got, you don't want to upset the car at all, and it is quite bumpy on the way through. So you want to keep the car as balanced and as neutral as you can on the way through and keep it full throttle to maximise your speed through the corner. So the bumps I was saying about, if you get nice and low, you can sort of see how bumpy it is on the way through. And for us, we're probably sort of around 100 mile an hour at this point. And so the car's working really, really hard. And it's so important to keep it as balanced as you can, because the next section of this little complex is so important again for the run through the rest of the track really and up to church. Now down at Goddard's, if you take a look behind, you'll see the importance of the previous corner. So you have to keep it quite tight on the way out, but you run quite wide, so you've got very little time to make the transition. You want to be in the middle of the road, sort of around and straddling this bit of new tarmac here. So if you take a look here, this, I mean all in corners are important, but this is probably in the top 3 of important corners on the track, because you've got a long run down there and that can set you up for a good lap time and also a good overtake. There's a lot of understeer through here because of the change of surface, but it's all about managing that through and just maximising your minimum speed. You can use a little bit of curb here, it's not very vicious. It depends on sort of where you're placed on track, if you're racing someone, as to where you go. So you try and come a little bit wider, but you don't want to come too wide because you just wash wide otherwise. So you want to keep it sort of middle of the road and carry a lot of speed all the way through. It's all about momentum through here. Yeah. Fun fact, still a live airfield here at Thruxton. So here we are at the infamous church corner, actually known as the fastest corner at the fastest circuit in the country. Take a look behind it, as you can see there's a long run. And you'll pretty much find as you come in, because this is sort of where your turning point is. And you can't see the corner, it's off camber as well. You run out of road very quickly. This is the sort of corner where your foot starts to go wobbly. We can go flat. In the full dry, it's easy flat, but it still sort of makes you think a little bit sort of on edge about it. Loads of incidents here over the years, but equally this can make or break a run you've had through the rest of the circuit from the complex all the way down to the chicane, which you can see further in the distance. So, made it back right to the end of the circuit just before the daylight disappears and into the final complex. Now, despite the look of these curbs are your friend in some respects, but you have to pick and choose your moments wisely because they will destroy your tyres. So, you can brake very late. It's the fastest point in the circuit, but because it's so uphill, you can brake very late. You carry more speed through here than you think. Great place to overtake, and also a lot of fun. Now through here, you want to use all of this curb as much as you can, and then obviously up at the second part we've got what we all love and know as the sausage curbs, both on the inside and on the third part, which means it's actually a lot tighter than you think, but you can carry a lot of speed through here still. And that completes that here at Thruxton.